What is up, guys? Got a fun deck for you today. Trying out the new swarm cards and monsters. It's been a moment, but we're back. Trying to get a couple videos out here and there for the last little life of Gwent. Unfortunately, it's going away from us, at least in terms of support. Obviously, we still got Gwentfinity, and servers are staying up, so can't complain about that. But it's really sad to see a lot of the community go. You know, there used to always be a million streams popping off all the time. Now there's hardly anything. But yeah, so this was definitely the deck I wanted to try out first because really enjoyed Swarm. Back in the days where I was playing this a whole lot, Swarm was one of the decks that I really used to climb with. And it really feels like a long time ago.
Don't dare think you can escape.
So, kind of general game plan here. You really want to win round 1 if you can here. Because if your opponent just takes you to a long round 3, a lot of things are going to outpoint this deck. And just a lot of wide punish can really hurt you. Like, take round 1 and then just hit him really hard with the bleed, and then just use like leader with even like a bone talisman. The new card, I totally forget what it's called now off the top of my head. That's spawning all the ones like that can just guarantee you a short round if you need it. So that's kind of why we're gonna, you know, if he's playing a scenario, we need to make sure we're responding accordingly. So that's why we're just hitting straight out with gold. It'd be nice if we didn't brick on the roach, but what can you do? But like a huge issue, and kind of why you don't want long round 3s, is you can overswarm very easy. And it had happened in a couple matches where I got taken into a longer, just going for the 2-0 and just running out of board space. Not much you can do about it. And fortunately, like if it's in a round 2, and you know you had already won, you're still in a fine spot because then you can just go and pass. But in round 3, like if you're not playing 2 to 3 cards at the end, it can really hurt you. You can still pull out a win, but that's why you ideally want to set it where you can at least try and control the round length, where your board space shouldn't be an issue. And our opponent is really going all out here. I was expecting just like normal elf deck here, but this kind of really should have been more of a clue that it would be traps. So it's something to pay attention to. If they're trying to tempo really hard because they want to pass and then go into the long round 3, right? Because that's what traps wants. So unfortunately we're in a really bad spot because we're going to go down a lot of cards here, and like it's just saying a lot. We don't want that round 3. But we can't just pass ourselves because it's essentially just going to round 3 even cards. He gets to play with 10, so just kind of got to play it out. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it in like 2, so we'd be at a little less of a deficit. But what can you do? So, yeah, in most circumstances, you're just going to have to go to a long round 3. And at the beginning of this, you can really see me kind of sitting there and decide it. Because I just know if I do that, I'm probably losing. Because I'm still thinking in this moment, I was still thinking it's just normal elves. And I'm like, they're going to hit me with the Vanadane, the Cargos, right? I'm just going to get hit with all that. Simless, Bernacial. I'm just not going to win. I'm not going to have the points. So, just really sat there deciding, like, as bad as it is, I've got to bleed 3 cards down. You know, instead of just getting slaughtered in round 3, we're gonna fight here, and we should be able to tempo a little bit harder because now that they don't have scenario or anything, they're not gonna have tempo for a bit. So that might be able to buy us a card or 2 and just pray for the short round. But yeah, that's kind of why I was just sitting here not doing anything for a bit, because I was really just like, can I do this? I mean, it's 3 cards. Like, yes, we have to bleed, but bleeding 3 cards down could just be practical suicide already for this round. But I do have Kiki More Queen, so that with Crimson Curse should give me enough tempo. Unfortunately, that's going to be going on the same row, but we can consume that with our Endrega Queen. But it should give me enough tempo, points, kind of engine power here, to at least get up ahead and maybe gain back a card or 2. So, it was a tough choice, but we just got to go for it. And Kiki More Queen is a little bit awkward in this deck because, you know, we don't really have instant activation of it. You kind of just have to play it out. But it is only 9 provisions. It's taking 7 normal damage, a lock or a heat wave to remove it. So it's safe from a lot of things out there, honestly. And then now the fact that organic cards trigger its Thrive, it's way more playable, because if we actually had to put in a lot of units to trigger its Thrive normally without that organic thing, wouldn't be able to play it. We'd have to throw in so many different options in there that you probably really wouldn't want to do for Swarm. Like, yes, you could do the cat, but what if you don't try, you know what I mean? Deck building consideration here would probably be, like, especially because I haven't played in forever, so I'm like down at like rank 13 here, and that's also kind of going to influence when I'm going up with opponents. Some of them might still be new, climbing up or whatever, or maybe they're like me, deranked a lot. Anyways, if you are at higher ranks, I would probably recommend taking Triss down to a Heat Wave for all of that Drakenborg Magnus going on, and then upgrading like Parasite to another Bone Talisman. Bone Talisman is just so good now that it has organic tag as well. Because, not like when you're playing Bone Talismans, you should ideally have a full board, but if not, you're still getting an extra drone out there. But the big thing with it is like you have 18 units out there, right? You're getting 18 points off the Bone Talisman, and then if you have Kiki More Queen, it's also proccing that. So just absolute point slam when you play that. That's a crushing trap. We're a little scared. Also, the Skeleton Storm there was an interesting card. I don't think I have ever seen that. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they just needed provisions or whatever, and they're still unlocking all the cards. Like, I get, like, you obviously want to combine that with the crushing trap just to completely eviscerate a row, but is he running a lot of movement stuff to get units in a row? Or is he just trying to attack super hard against Swarm? It'd be really nice if there's like a chat window so you could ask your... That is super unfortunate. That was probably not the play. I was thinking it was a crushing trap though. And trying to get my units built up so it wouldn't completely take out my row. I was imagining that this was just a normal Elves deck, and sometimes they'll throw in a crushing trap. But seeing that pitfall was a definite giveaway that, hey, this is like actually traps. Probably should go Hive Mind. That was the card earlier. Like, Hive Mind in a short round can be crazy. Or even playing it before, because you can get the carryover off that worker for 7. Basically, I'm trying to set this up where the stuff I want in a later round, I will get. Like, that's the carryover we're kind of looking for here. It's unfortunate we lost all those points, but we have enough of a gap here, and we're able to clear out. Why I didn't kill his Vanadane is a huge mistake. I don't know what I was thinking there, because if he played another Waylay, he's getting extra points from that. That was a huge misplay right there. I should have killed it.
Customer is king.
But anyways, we have enough points here where it seems like it's very likely we'll get our cards back here. And at the very least, because it's traps, it's even better. We've basically just destroyed him, except for one stupid card that I happened to reveal. And you guys remember, Simlas. If he's able to play, I forget what that girl's name is, but put all his Waylays, or some of his Waylays back in the deck, and then Simlas, I think we're torched.
I've no patience with you.
Yeah, we just barely creaked by with tying it up. That is honestly incredible. We just successfully bled 3 cards down and got everything out of him and got into a short round. But like I said, Simlas is super scary. We know he has a Neuromancy, so he's guaranteed, you know, Simlas, but he has to draw. I forget what her name is. I want to say like Alyssa Henson is what's coming to mind, but I don't know if that's correct. But if he either has Simlas, or I'm just going to go with whatever that girl is in his hand, he also has a Neuromancy, we're probably done for. Pretty decent hand here. Behemoth would be nice over the Warrior, but... And Warrior's honestly something you could cut. You could put in another Feast, that organic card. If you haven't noticed, I'm terrible with card names. When it comes to recording, I just like forget them all when it actually matters. But I put it in there just to, you know, consume a Knickers, a Roach out of there, keep it all insectoids, spawn some extra drones. And because drones are in order, I can control exactly when I want and where I want coming off a hive mind to go. Plus, obviously with the consume, we can help, you know, get a big body on the thing and trigger the thrive of Kikimore Queen. So yeah, this is moment of truth. It is Elisa Henson, isn't it? He Elisa Henson's here, and he has Simlas in hand, we're done for. And that just really sucked, you know? Like, you just successfully bled 3 cards down, and then you just lose. Oh. Goes for a trap. Interesting. Well, fortunately though, his Simlas will only have 2 and he did have it.
Why should I, an elf,
So depending on what that trap is, this could be pretty close. Could be. But then again, we do have 7 points coming in. We're going to get a drone anyways because we have an organic card coming in. So that's going to be 7. So we're already sitting on like 9 plus whatever else we have. So I don't know what that trap is. Yeah, I don't know if that was the Neuromancy there. I guarantee you could have done something better. I mean, I guess he thought I might swarm out. I could have played for a lot. But yeah, look at that. There we go. Successful bleed. 3 cards down. And then we pull out the win. Pretty commanding win, too. Very, very nice. Okay, we got Nilfgaard. How about those new Nilfgaard cards, right? Like, what were they thinking? Cog support? Why? Like, I don't even care if they're bad and nobody plays them. It's just like, why is that the direction we're going? Right? You're almost done with support for Gwent. Like, let's boost up any, like, other smaller archetypes. Like, you know, everyone's always saying, like, Spy still needs some more love. And, yeah, they probably could have used a couple more cards and stuff. You know? Maybe 1 or 2 new, like, Siege Engines for over that, since those are kind of always hit or miss. Reworking that a bit. who knows? I mean, there's so many different things you could have done with it. And like for Claw, it was just, I don't know why that was ever in the game. What a terrible idea.
Try not to
I can
scream
sort of,
so
kind of,
much,
maybe,
my
sort of,
friend.
slightly see Mill. Sort of, it's just like this stupid deck. It's triggering. It's pretty much always been trash. I don't think it's ever been super meta. It's annoying. I think it should go too, but like Clog was a whole new level of BS. Like the low point of Gwent for me, two of them, was being able to play scenarios twice, or like proccing them in one turn. That was stupid, but like Masquerade Ball twice is just unreal. I hated that so much. It seemed so stupidly strong at the time, especially because there's only like 13 provisions for how strong that scenario was. And then the V into like the lockdown Colgrim Clog. What a terrible time for this game. So stupid. And just like how long that was around. It wasn't like just a single patch like, okay, yeah, this isn't really working. We need to fix some stuff. Like, I don't know. I hated that time. Really not fun. Glad both those decks are kind of done and over, at least as far as I know. And like V, that was truly to me, or at least what I define as like binary, just completely focused about run one card. If you could somehow answer their card, their deck's done for or whatever. But then you don't really have like ways to normally interact and try and stop that card because it goes into the deck. Like your normal average deck isn't gonna be able to think of like any creative ways to really counter it. Like you just had to somehow stupidly outpoint them in round 1 and then just go from there. But like bleeding was super difficult because if you didn't successfully bleed, then they've got like this, they can shell out like 40, 50, 60, 70 points with like 3 cards, if not even more. Unreal. Anyways, rant over, back to the game. Kind of got an interesting little deck from our opponent here. He also went ahead and popped the Practitioner early. Don't really know what's up with that, but again, I've D-ranked a lot. I'm at lower rank, so people could kind of just be figuring out, just kind of having fun, you know, not being like super sweat lords looking at like tier 1 decks and just trying to grind the heck out of it and following guides exactly and no creativity. So that's kind of a breath of fresh air to see. Also, that Blue Boy Lugos find is pretty decent. Kind of turns some of that damage back around. Just kind of a little tip here. Crimson Curse is a phenomenal card for round 1. It's a lot of points. And because you typically are gonna, like, you're fighting for round 1 a lot, like I was saying. Good little card to play. Brings out Roach. A lot of points over time. Goes ahead and gets some Swarm going on your end. So, really good card to play around with. It. A little scary here because our opponent might win on even. And it hits the Blue Boy Lugos. That's unfortunate. Can't really play anything else now, so this is our pass unless he deletes something, which is likely because Lugos will take damage. We have a lot of 2s out there that he can delete for us. But Triss would really be the only card we'd want to play. Because I'd want to save the Toad for engines that he would play later on. Plus, kind of have her out. We just need to take it. Unfortunately, this could put us in a very bad... Elf and Onion Soup? Alright. But this could put us in a very bad spot if he takes us to a long round 3. So, not super ideal. Our opponent was able to shell out a lot of points. It's actually kind of crazy though. Almost our entire board is just drones.
I know not if I should.
What? Didn't really. Yeah, they messed up his point calculations there. We're gonna get a. Okay, we're getting leader from him. We'll take it. We will take it.
How can I help?
And if he has the girl who steals your leader. I don't think we have a super crazy good leader for her to steal. We'll see though. But I think he just got kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he said just to throw leader instead of going another card because I guess he wants to bleed. But it's huge for us. It's turned out to be an excellent pass. Yeah, we probably want 3 cards. We probably want Parasite for control. We definitely want Kikimore Queen, and then, well, honestly, this is pretty fun. The one thing I didn't really want to do, because Stalker would be the one to go digging, is in case he just passes, that's the card we just gotta slap down so we don't only have golds. You know, that's always rough when you have a complete gold hand, they dry pass you and then you just have to give one of them up. Hiveline's a pretty solid card, really enjoy it. And I like the flexibility of play between which way you can choose it and how you can kind of sometimes go for carryover with it. But the flexibility is super nice. Like, hey, I'm playing it towards the end of this round. I just want like a solid 7 points, just kind of some point slam. And then the beginning of the next round, I'm going to get all these engines showing up first, right? Or I need my engines for this round, and then I'm going to try and get that 7 as a carryover if possible. It's really nice. But see, he passed here, so that's why I don't really want to go digging. Want to guarantee that we keep at least 1 bronze card in hand. Okay. Pretty close to everything we want. Ooh, yeah, I was greeding a bit too hard there. I should have respected it more. That is a huge downgrade. Yeah, this could be tough depending on what he has. Always feels so weird just leading with a Kikimore Queen. It'd be like leading with Kashi. Like, you typically only want to play them, you know, when you have ways to instantly activate and set it up. But you kind of just got to go for it. But we're gonna go ahead and decide to go with Itter here, or Ider. So that turned a decent little change for it. Actually, and benefit of going with that first is, you know, put stuff in range for Toad Prince, which is why I was saying we wanted to keep Toad Prince for those reasons, to shut off his assimilate engines later. That is unfortunate. That would have been a much better unit to grab, but what can you do? Okay, we need to get our swarm going really soon and get Kikimore Queen down. There is an awkward thing with this deck where between organic cards and then your units, where like you want to get a lot of these units down so when you play organic cards you get the benefits of it, right? So like, you know, with the hatchling or whatever it's called, so it can, you know, boost up and start swarming, and then you want your Stalker down so some of these organic cards can boost it up, and then because they're spawning cards it gives extra charges to them. Kikimore Queen, obviously you need to have it down so when you play organic cards it can trigger the Thrive. But half the time you sometimes want to play those organic cards first to like answer something, right? So it kind of create an awkward thing. It's kind of like with Enslave, where you want to get like your Hefty Helga down, your Fire Scorpions, all that sort of stuff. So then when you play Tactics, you get extra charges. But sometimes your opponent leads a unit and you're like, well, I need to assassinate that. But I really want to get this Helga down so I can get extra value. And it kind of creates a little interesting balance there of, you know, what's your cost of going for something? Like, what are we valuing here? Are we really trying to maximize points and essentially maybe greed a bit, or do we just go and respect and answer this? Also, one thing that's probably a huge issue here, and is a little bit of a mistake, is filling up that back row as my Kikimore Queen one, because we have Triss Telekinesis, and she's range locked. So that could turn around and bite us. It is a huge mistake. I did that because I had Toad Prince in the front row, and I'm trying to absolutely maximize points here because I feel like I'm going to need it versus Assimilate. But it is a misplay. I should still have done that melee row and then use the Entrega Queen to consume the Toad Prince to free up space. Like play Entrega Queen back row. This is a phenomenal card in this deck because not only is it organic, but it damages and then it can boost up a Stalker, so then we have an easier time activating Predator. Honestly, maybe you want to drop the Warrior and just run 2 of them. It's a really great card. And then saving the charges on Iter is a good thing because then it allows you to just run up a bunch of charges for your Stalker. Good little combination there. You can shut down some of his engines. And we're really rolling here on points. Obviously it's Assimilate, so they can shell out a lot and very little. But he doesn't have Leader, and that's a good source of points for them. And
now you see me.
that's a little rough. At least it bounces back over and wasn't filling up board space. That could be a huge issue with the Simulators if they started putting a bunch of spies on our side of the board. That could be scary. Also, another benefit with Stalker too is it consumes drones if you need to clear up space. And you can see I'm consuming that because I'm trying to free up back row for Triss. Give the space for the tits. I mean Triss. But our opponent should know we have that because when he pulled Leader, so if he has another spy or something, he might be able to play it. I was trying to get charges there to probably kill his units over, but I totally forget that it has to be above. It's not equal. I kept making that mistake, thinking like, you know, a 3 could hit a 3, but it's only anything less than. So kind of filled up too much board space. But fortunately, Stalker can consume and free up. Too bad there's no 1-power 1s in the back. And you can see us checking it because I initially thought it was just you could ping your own units. I didn't realize it was consuming, so I was trying to ping that spy away so I could play Triss. Which, if Triss onto Bone Talisman, would probably be guaranteed win here. I go for the Knickers up in the front row because I'm just hoping maybe he'll delete a unit in the back. You know, maybe we'll get lucky and freed up. We'll just go for it. It is only 3 versus 4 points. Well, actually, it's 3 versus 3 because he does have Iter, so just kind of hope and pray here. But I don't think that 1 point, to my knowledge back then, would have mattered too much. But it really wouldn't have mattered anyways because it still would have been 3 versus 3. But I was just holding out that, hey, maybe we'll get to play it. We'll see. We have to discard it, I guess. But we really have a huge gap here. I think we're doing just fine. We get like 40 points. 40-some points. Yep, that's not gonna do it. Sweep. Yep, there we go. Another win. Swarm looking pretty decent. Again, these are lower ranks, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I think if you definitely run a heat wave, you could have some luck up in high rank. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.